Purnamaste, Purnamaste, and everybody welcome. Welcome to the art of the word that I am, from the heart, for you and me. Well, we are in everything together. And I want to tell you that I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. I have flaws, many flaws. I can start and then I cannot stop. And I can go so far to bring the message home. Too far. And I'm always doing my best to be better. I'm allergic to social media communication in person. I'm like, I don't know. But social media, messenger, and all this commenting and everything, just doing it, it's not right, not resonating with me. So I can, in my social media interaction, I see my flaws. I see my flaws. And I see when I have to get better. And I speak about my flaws with no guilt. I'm not hiding them. I have no guilt and no fear. So, I love Alan Watts all my life. And sometimes I speak things that he speaks because this is the truth of enlightenment, Zen truth, to be the Zen. And he's the master that always spoke to me in the heart most. He looks like my grandfather. He sounds like grandfather. He has similar sense of humor like my grandfather. You know, and people so often think that enlightenment is that you are never sad anymore, you are never angry, you have no flaws, you do not have negative thoughts. No. Enlightenment is freedom of the ego. And this actually is the ego blaming you. You have to always be good. You should never get angry. You should never get sad. You are not good enough. That's not enlightenment. That's not enlightenment. Ego is telling you, you are not good enough. You are a bad person. You should be good. You should not be sad, you should not be angry. Many times when I get angry, Purna, you are not a master because you got angry. But as great Alan Watts would also tell you, this is ego blaming you for who you are. And enlightenment is taking your ego under control, not your ego controlling you. Taking your unconscious to consciousness. To be free of guilt, to be free of fear, to feel sad, but have no guilt about being sad, and express how you feel. To get angry, because you only get angry if your energy is violated, you know. So you let it out, just like a cat. Cat is always giving love, but if you violate the energy of a cat and you cannot take that you did, cat will get very angry. To have faults, and you know that you have faults because there's no perfection, but you are free of guilt, free of fear, free of that guilt blaming you, ego blaming you. That you should be always good, that you should never be angry. Like great Alan Watts said, Zen Master is like an ocean. Zen Master is like an ocean. People just want to be with him and be suited by his energy and just enjoy the ocean. But when is the storm No one can handle the storm. Enlightened man get angry like no one else. Express how he feels. If he's sad, if he's angry, he will to express. And when somebody makes him angry, he is giving peace to everyone and doesn't want to make anyone angry. Doesn't violate energy of anyone. So then, enlightened man can get angry like no man and woman in this world can. Because they blame themselves. They are not good enough, and then they are sorry. And oh, I shouldn't get angry. But I saw this in India with masters I studied. They given me most love, but when my mind was violating and didn't stop, they got so angry that no one ever got angry, that I was like, what the fuck is going on? I never dared to tell him you are not enlightened because you are angry, because I saw he is. He has no guilt and no fear. He knows something is in here. No guilt. So you can get angry. It's not to keep anything in. For just like a cat, it doesn't keep anything in. You act like you feel. You sleep when you feel. You eat when you feel. You meditate when you feel. You hang out with people when you feel. You express sadness when you feel. You express anger when you feel. You respond to the energy in this moment now. It means you are sincere and truthful as the energy that you are part of, that comes in your energy. You are just responding to that energy. You are sincere and truthful. You don't blame yourself that you are sad. Oh, I shouldn't be sad. That's not enlightened. You don't blame yourself that you are negative. Oh, I shouldn't be negative. I should be positive always. I'm not good enough. Enlightenment, like Buddha told you, is union of darkness and light. When your darkness supports your light, doesn't oppose it anymore. When darkness opposes your light, ego is blaming you. You are not a good person. You are not good enough. You shouldn't get angry. But when your darkness is united with the light, you only get angry when your energy is violated. When somebody does in your energy that doesn't feel right, and they cannot respect that it doesn't feel right to you. And if they cannot, you get angry with no guilt and no fear. Ego is not blaming you. But you live like Zen is. You live in a state of no resistance. You give no resistance to no one. You give only peace to everyone. You are taking care that you are not slightly violating the energy of others. So your mind is at peace from the heart. Your heart is master of your mind, and you don't violate others, because Zen is you are like water, to be like water, to flow away from every resistance. Whatever you have to control, whatever you have to push, whatever you have to resist, you just flow away. It doesn't go this moment. You don't control, you don't push. In this way, you don't give to anyone no violation. Because when somebody says to you, when you are in that state, in the state of flow, when you don't want others to violate your energy, you violate energy of no one. And you give peace to everyone. In that state, you are not taking what you are not giving. You know. So, because you are not violating the energy of no one, you give only peace. You never get angry out of ego for no reason because somebody said something, posted something. What is not touching your energy, what is not violating your energy, regardless, it is the most terrible darkness. You don't judge it. You let it be. For you are one with the source and it's not violating you. So whatever the slightest things come violating you, you want peace and you give peace to everyone, and you are always at peace because you are always at peace, you give peace to everyone. And that's why when somebody disturbs your peace, when somebody violates your energy, you understand that you have to stop them, otherwise they will come again, and they will not stop, and more of them will come because you will tolerate it. You just have no tolerance for it, and you can get angry like nothing in this world. You know, it's... So, there is resistance. When there is resistance in others, you feel that resistance, okay, it doesn't feel right to you. I want you to feel right and be happy because I want to feel right and be happy at peace myself. I don't want to give you what you are not giving to me. And you are not giving to anyone. Whatever doesn't feel right to them, you feel that it doesn't, you back off. They express that it doesn't, you back off, and you live with state of no resistance. You don't control, push, resist anyone. And in this way, if anybody try to control, push, and resist, and cannot respect your energy and violates your energy, cannot respect your will, you may say nicely one time, two time, but I saw all masters like I am. If something is in their energy that doesn't feel right, they get angry. Because you don't accept anymore the resistance of others. You are not opposing and violating with your mind energy of others, and you don't allow this. Because you are happiness, you are peace, and you want to stay in that peace. So you take care. You can get on fire so that this is not repeating itself again. And then you also teach others, they respect you. You have no guilt. No guilt. And when you are sad, you are not guilty that you are sad. You are not feeling ashamed and that something is wrong. The greatest enlightened masters expressed the deepest, saddest poetry, but with no guilt and fear. You have flaws, but you are not hiding them, like I'm not hiding them. You show them to the world. It's enlightenment is being truthful and sincere as it feels right to you. Your guilt, your fear, no more afraid of you, blaming you. But you have no guilt and fear to act as you truly feel in the moment to that energy. And I know it ain't easy with me always. I know it ain't easy with me. It ain't easy with me. When Osho said it ain't easy with me, but with me especially not easy. I was born highly active autistic. It means that I can be only sincere and truthful and raw. And if I start, I cannot stop. I go too far to take the message home. And I'm allergic to social media, to debating in this and writing and all these things that everybody loves to do. So it's a stew. In person, I'm at home and I want to make my video. So, in past, I used to scream and shout and explode for nothing like a cat when my energy was violated. I just exploded and but that time I had guilt. I was blaming myself. I was afraid to really, and you know, and so it ain't easy with me always, because enlightenment is being truthful and sincere, always with no guilt and fear. And I don't have this. I was born without this. I cannot pretend, I cannot people please, and so nervous and sensitive. And I can really go too far, too far, too far, too far to bring the message home. And it ain't easy with me. I know it ain't easy with me. For I have no guilt and no fear about it. And then when I start, if I start, I cannot stop. But I have no guilt about it. Before, I was like that. I was screaming, I was shouting, I was going all insane. Now I act like a crazy master because I have no guilt and no fear anymore about it. And my nature is such that it can be a little bit crazy when I have no fear and guilt, and when I'm one with the truth that I am last 3 years, but I'm getting nicer and nicer and better. But I cannot pretend to be polite, to people please. I don't know, this is my ego blaming me, and this, it was a little bit, but never so strong. So, it's to be who you are as it feels right. And when some energy comes into your energy, it doesn't feel right. You feel it like a cat feel it. And you trust what you feel, not what you think. Your ego doesn't blame you. And you feel it clearly. And then you stop it. An enlightened man can be worse than a regular man, because regular man you can gaslight, convince, change his mind, so he blames himself and says, oh, I didn't mean this, I'm not a good person. But when you start gaslighting and you start convincing, enlightenment is you already feel the energy that you're bringing is violation of my energy. I'm giving you peace. And now you're trying to push and resist and force and gaslight. Then you even get more angry. So, enlightened man can be worse than when he gets angry like regular people. It ain't easy with me. My nature, sensitive, nervous, autistic, highly active. I cannot pretend, cannot be polite. I go too far to bring the message home. Home is doing my best to be better. But I have no guilt, no fear speaking about it. And I may do it. I didn't check my comments today, and today was such a day. I love my mother. But even with her, if there is something, I cannot stop. And then I just go on. Like a mad Shiva master. And that's why, like Osho said, I will say, it ain't easy to deal with me always. I have no guilt, no shame, no fear about it. I have many flaws. Because what is the thing? What is the thing, you know? When you are pretending you don't have flaws. This is your ego blaming you. I'm perfect, I'm always good, I'm always nice, I'm always like this. Your ego is blaming you for all this. You are keeping it in. You are in ego blaming you in false self. And then because ego is blaming you for all these things that you think they're not good enough. When you see it in others, then you may blame them and see it in them. Because you blame yourself that you should not be like this, and then you may blame others. But enlightenment is you are not guilty. This is who I am. My unconscious, my darkness is brought to consciousness, brought to light. My darkness serves the light, and I know the darkness that is within me is in others. For I have brought it to light within me, united it with light, integrated it with light, conquered my guilt, conquered my fear, my blame. And then I know that is in me also, and is in others. And then you only teach, and you teach that others should get free of guilt and fear and be truly with no guilt and fear themselves from the heart. You teach so them they can get free because you have brought your unconscious to consciousness. Released guilt, overcame fear. And then you can get angry with no guilt and no fear, sad with no guilt and no fear. And you are not going on attacking others and blaming them for what you are blaming in within yourself and didn't brought to consciousness. You should be always the best. But you teach and you work in this world in a way so others may get free of their guilt, of their fear. So they can stop blaming themselves. It's not about never being negative, pretending to be positive. This is you are just all your traumas, all darkness, all negativity, you are keeping it in. It's burning you within, burning you alive. It creates mental disease, resentfulness, revenge, trauma, bad karma. No. It's to express your negativity. And me, I'm so sensitive. Zen is about letting everything out what is in, sincerely and truthfully. And usually you do it like artistically, like I post about things that I feel negative in me. I express it in artistic way, so I teach. And when somebody is in my energy doing what doesn't feel right, I express myself because I have no guilt and no fear. I know I would suffer with anxiety and I would suffer with anxiety so much if I would keep it in and allow people to do it. They will do it more. I would be keep it in. I'm so sensitive. It would destroy me. I'll be So you just have no guilt. You know that you have to let that negativity out, release it. But you only release it like a cat. When somebody violates your energy, you get angry. Or you release it like a poet, like an artist. You feel negativity, sadness, some negativity other within you. You are not happy and pleased with what is around you for a moment, and like this, you don't want to keep it within. You don't want it to burn you. You express it artistically. Like I said yesterday, people should in this time work on themselves, work on enlightenment, high their vibration, focus on spiritual truths. Focus on spiritual truths. To work on themselves, to really sincerely get free of all the darkness, fear and guilt. And I was sad about it and not pleased, but I expressed it in an artistic way, like an artist. And and today, my previous post, I don't like people thinking that I'm a beggar. I don't like people thinking that I'm beggar. Because I'm actually teaching in my class, and I was 15 years working on myself before I started to teach. I become a master, and whoever offers a donation is for they feel valuable blessing and something that help them and assist them in their teaching. I don't want pity. I require, and I'm so grateful, and without their donations, I would not, without your donations, I would not be in this world. And I would not be able to teach. But I'm integrated and one with the source that I am with no guilt and fear. I know that in giving others receive what is maybe invisible, but source knows maybe the greatest treasures. And I do healing on them also on distance. I also do service on them, on you, if you offer donations. So I'm a teacher, master teacher who is living in example. When I'm living, when I'm teaching now, being in state with no resistance, doing what feels right to me and never what doesn't feel right to me, free of my guilt blaming me. And I also do service for everybody who offers me a donation. I do distance, as healing, I say nothing. And they receive something that they need, because I know that to be free of guilt and fear, to be free of attachments, of dependency, to be free of the mind thinking, and to be master from the heart, master of the mind, it's enlightenment. It's freedom of birth and death. It's end of karma. And I know that I have something most precious and most valuable. That's why it doesn't feel right to me when somebody thinks that I'm a beggar. And that's why I'm expressed negativity that way, that time. They actually receive something, and they should. I'm so happy what I receive, but I want them to receive my treasures also. If they think that I'm a beggar, they don't receive anything, because I'm not a beggar. They don't see me. They don't see a master teacher. They don't see a psychologist. They don't see divine madman that I am, who's saying like Osho, it ain't easy to deal with me. Have no guilt about it. That's Zen. And I don't push, I don't convince, I don't violate energy of no one. I give peace to everyone. I live in a way not to give any resistance, any opposition and violation, not to control energy of others, because I am happiness and peace, and I want others to be happy and at peace. I don't want others to feel in separation from self, to suffer, and that it really doesn't feel right to them to put up with my energy and their energy or do things for me. When somebody expresses, I don't want to do this with you, or I feel that they don't want, I say, okay, I want you to be happy as I am happy and at peace. I love you. I don't want you to suffer. If you would want something from me that I don't want, I would tell you. So don't worry. Respect it. I don't even need to know the reason. I just see resistance. It's not resonating with you. It is to make you unhappy. I want to make you happy. I love you, so don't even explain yourself to me. That's how I live. I give no resistance to no one. If water is not flowing, I flow in the direction that water is flowing. I don't flow into the direction that water is not flowing and try to push there. So also when somebody tries to resist and push in my energy, then I'm to get angry with no guilt and fear. And when I express myself one time and I say this is how it is, this is who I am, this is how I feel, I actually introduce myself, my energy. I mean what I say. It's not invitation for discussion. I will not change. Truth doesn't change. I'm just expressing how it feels in my energy, that energy. And when I have to repeat myself 2 times, second time I'm angry. For I know how it feels in my energy. And I trust only how it feels in my energy. So this is complete ego nonsense. You have to be always positive. You never should be sad. You never get angry. And this is why Western people, when they meet Indian masters like I am, and when they go to India and meet Indian masters, or go to China, meet Zen masters, and then they see that we get angry like no one gets angry, and that you cannot tell us anything when we get angry, and that we can get sad. And I saw this, and then they judge, oh, this is not enlightenment. He can have bad temper. How angry he got at me. He should not be angry. He is not enlightened. My mama told me that you should not be angry. And then I got more angry. That's what happens. But then I give her so much love, and so much love, and so much love, and so much love. Because like I said, it's not easy to deal with me. I have no breaks. And to be sincere and truthful with no guilt and fear and autistic, and then be aligned with the source and free of guilt and fear, attachments, dependency. It can be awful. I cannot stop for a little small thing. I can go too far to bring that message home. You know? Because thing is that people you can control, and when you say something to them that they should be better, but when you have no guilt and no fear, you just see that you are not blaming yourself, you will not blame them, and they tell you that you should not behave in this way, and you even get more angry. You have no guilt, no fear. So you see, and in this way, you don't keep anything in. Like a cat. Cats are the great example of that. Cats are the great example of that. Just look at the cat. Cat gives you love. And that's why when you say you shouldn't be angry if you are loved, cats give you most sincere and truthful love from the heart. But when cats feel you violating her energy, it doesn't feel right to the cat, and you are pushing and resisting. Cat will let you know, meow, this doesn't feel right to me, meow. And you are just going and pushing and resisting and going and pushing and resisting. You know what happens then? What happens then? You know what happens then very well, no? Cat smacks you. Cats get very angry. Cat bites you. Because cat told you, this doesn't feel right in my energy. You're violating my energy. I want sleep. I want peace. I want peace. And I give you peace. Cat always gives you peace. And then, you get all bloody finger. And cat will not blame herself, think that she's not good enough. Cat will just go away and lie down. You violated the energy of a cat. And next moment, after half an hour, when cat wakes up, cat gives you all the love, and your finger is all bloody and painful. Cat doesn't blame herself. It was violation of energy. You stopped. You couldn't stop, so you stop. And then everything is okay. You give the most profound love. Animals are free of ego, blaming them, and always respond to energy how it feels. And Zen is just like this. Free of ego blaming you is to be fully developed, aligned, human being with the source, aligned, higher self, one with the lower self, and and you are free of that ego that animals are also free of. But you are not like an animal. You have free will to create. You are fully aware, fully conscious. You are not in a dream state like animal, in an enlightened dream state. You are in an enlightened, fully conscious state. So you don't have that ego blaming you. You respond to the energy, how it feels, and you don't think. You are free of the mind thinking about it, if it's good and bad. You feel as it is. Not good or bad, but as it truly feels to you. And if it doesn't resonate you, if it doesn't feel right to you, you respond to it. Every moment. In the moment, not acting and moving like what you think, what is good and bad, what worked in past, what you think is to work there, but you never offer any resistance. As it is now, this moment, you accept it, you don't resist it, and you respond to it. That's the freedom of the mind. Because ego is always blaming you, because ego is identifying you with your thinking, with your thoughts, good and bad. This is good, this is bad, and then always judging you that you are good and you are bad, you're not good enough, you should be like this, you shouldn't be like this. But enlightenment, to be truly as you are from the heart and act as it truly feels the energy as it is this moment accordingly. You know, accepting the moment as it is. It's doing everything what you do, always. But you do it in a easiest, less complicated way, with least resistance. You cut wood there where there's no resistance, where there's easiest. You cook in a way, you work in a way, you make things in a way that it is the most pleasant and with less and less complications for you. You don't complicate. There's no complications. It's always taking the easiest path of least resistance. You know? It's like what can be done and must be done, but in easiest way that can be done. You don't complicate. It's like this. In these times, what Zen can teach us? That we should have no guilt and no fear. Because others want so many things now from you, are pushing, are demanding, want this and that and this and that and this and that and this and that and always this and that. And if you have guilt, you may be, oh, I'm not good enough person, they need help, but you are all stressed and nervous and you need to work on yourself, but then you, because you blame yourself, you give them all the energy. No. Zen teaches us to give yourself enough love than you give to others and to really follow as it feels to you. It feels to you like, no, you need peace now. You need love. They want something, you don't owe them nothing. You have no guilt and no fear. You say, I'm sorry, but this is not my work. You will sure find a way and somebody to help you in this. You know you are not responsible for their problems. You don't blame for them. You didn't create them. It's their karma. And then if it feels right to you, you help. If it doesn't feel right to you, you don't. But you don't blame yourself. And that's why you can stop everyone who wants so many things from you. Have no guilt. What Zen always teaches us? That we should always be ourselves as it feels from the heart. To choose the middle path. And Zen is actually, you know what is Zen actually? Zen is actually the extension of Buddhism, the upgrade. Buddhism was being Buddha. But Zen is to be Buddha and live as Buddha in this world, enjoy this world in fullness and completion as Buddha. Zen is fusion of material and spiritual. To live most spiritual in most profound way, easiest way, with alignment with the source, and living materially fullness of life. That's what Zen is. You know? It's like you live. like Buddha. It's like always, whatever comes to you, you choose the path of least resistance. Like when somebody wants trouble from me, I usually block them. Or they just project something. I said the answer to the art of the word that I am is within you. It has nothing to do with me. It is in your mind, so you can keep it. It's like whatever is violating your energy, whatever you're not giving to others, you are not receiving, and you are just with least resistance possible, you are just deflecting it. It's yours, keep it, it's not mine. Like a Zen master once said, to argue with a fool, then you are a fool. And then a fool said, oh, you are not right, you are not right, you are wrong, this is not true. And Zen master said, you are right. To argue with a fool, you are a fool. I love this one. When people come and say, I'm Jesus Christ, I will save you, I'm your Savior and Messiah. I told them, I am sorry, I saved myself, I cannot save you. You have to save yourself, I have to walk my dog. Pardon. That's Zen. Zen is actually not serious. Zen is actually comedy. It's a joke. It's a joke. Zen master is to tell you, look, I don't know what you're doing in my temple. I'm here just writing my book. I'm just being myself. I'm not teaching anything. It must be, I know I have something valuable. It's within me. But I'm not teaching anything and doing anything. So you better figure out what you are seeking here and appreciate that value, because I appreciate it. I don't know what you're doing here. I'm not teaching anything. And that's how Zen masters triggered many times that people were in silence, in meditation, and then they reached enlightenment by there that they didn't want to teach them anything. And they kept them 1 year waiting to come into the temple, and they just tell them that they don't teach anything, that they should figure out why they are here and appreciate it. You know? Zen is a joke. And sometimes some people, they got the joke immediately. Like Bodhidharma, he actually... One time somebody came to him, my mind is so crazy. My mind is not at peace. My mind needs peace. Yeah. And Bodhidharma said, where is your mind? Show me your mind. Put it out. Show it your mind to you, to me now. Show me your mind. And that person got enlightened. They realized the point. To get the joke. That's Zen. Not to explain you, but to trigger that you get a joke. And you can get enlightenment. And one crazy joke Bodhidharma did. One his disciple came and he asked him, what is principle of Buddhism? And the disciple has put his finger up like Buddha in the statues has his finger up. Principle of Buddhism, to always live in the highest dimension, this word to this is what he taught. And what Bodhidharma did, he cut off his finger with a sword. And the disciple, cried and all, bloody everything. This is true story. And then he called him, come back, sit down. What is the main principle of Buddhism? And he tried, and he got enlightened. I'm nothing. There's no finger. He lost a finger, he got enlightenment. That kind of jokes, crazy jokes. Zen master is like I am. When you come in his energy, He always connects with your mind, and he just sees what are their attachments and projections that are keeping you away from the truth, and just pushes on that like a joke. That's why it's never right what you say to me or to any Zen master. Always something. But we leave everybody alone, and when people come to our class, we respond to what they're bringing, to the energy. And I'm very young Zen master and autistic, born highly active, so I can be very crazy and I can go too far to bring the message home and like this. But I have no guilt about it, about my faults and everything. I'm one with the source. I'm living from the heart, not from the mind. I feel the mind so clearly. And on top of it, I'm allergic to the mind. I cannot stand mind violating anything. And just, I feel it so clearly in myself. I can go too far to bring the message home. I mean, mind of others, I feel so clearly in myself. And when you know that I'm a joke, that actually I'm nothing, I don't exist, there's just energy dancing, it's a comedy, then you can laugh. You can laugh because Zen is a joke. It's always comedy. And you have to not think, then you are offended. You have to feel and allow the joke to be revealed to you, the answer within you, the revelation. You get a joke. You get a joke. You get a joke. And all my answers are for you to get a joke. For you to get a joke. For you to get a joke. It's always speaking to that I am you, your true self. Like Zen master, his wife may call him, come to dinner, my dear, and he will tell, who is this speaking? Is he knows himself from here, where this voice is coming. Who are you who speaks? And somebody said, oh, you have to be saved. And he said, oh, I have to take my dog for a walk. You have to save yourself. Zen is a comedy. Zen is a joke. Somebody, yeah, you are such a terrible person. You're this. Oh, the shit you see in me must be within you because I have no problem with you. If there was shit within me, then I would tell you this. Oh, this shit must be within you. It's playing judo. It's using the energy of others with no resistance, just with least resistance to. If it comes violating you, you just return it. And like judo, they attack you and you use their energy so they fall. But if they don't attack you, you leave them alone. So Zen is a joke, and I'm a comedian, and I'm sincere and truthful always. I cannot be no other, and I have no guilt and fear. And I want you to be yourself, sincerely, truthfully, with no guilt, with no fear, to express the energy that you feel. For whatever you keep in is to make you mentally sick and to make you suffer in bad karma with others. It's your ego blaming you. When you truly, with no guilt, express how you feel, your heart is always light as feather because you don't keep anything in and you let everything out. That's enlightenment. Not never being negative, but having no guilt being negative. And when you're negative, there's no guilt to be negative. Because your darkness is united with your light. Doesn't oppose and violate anyone, but just stands for your light. So this is what I want to speak about to you. This is what this video about. The crazy man that I am, sincere and truthful, blessing you so you can be sincere and truthful as it feels to you. Respond to energy, not what you think, free of guilt and fear from the heart. As that I am, I give you my word from the heart. Much love and blessings to you all. We are in everything together. Oh, And what Zen can teach us in these times. There's one famous Zen verse. And actually, when we read these Zen verses, we think they speak about our attachments, our wars within. But Zen masters actually lived in China and in Japan, in great wars, in shogun wars, in so much suffering and opposition and violation. There were great wars in China and Japan with great egos. And what the verse is saying actually, under the sword lifted high, there is hell making you tremble underneath. But go ahead, and you are to arrive to the land of bliss. We should not follow fear. We should not follow guilt. We should not follow fear. But we should be in love, in greatest news, and work on ourselves to rise and go ahead. And if we do it, as others may, because of fear of the sword and hell underneath, burn, we come to our promised land, to heaven and earth. But you have to be free of guilt. Otherwise, your guilt is to destroy you. Because guilt and fear is what this system trying to enslave the society with. I give you my word from the heart. And we are in everything together. And if you love the art of the word that I am, if you really feel the art of the word that I am in your heart, and you wish to support and offer a donation to the art of the word that I am, do know that without of your donation, there would be no art of the word that I am. And I know this very well, and I'm grateful for you. And if there's any blessing in my heart, let it all come to you. You maybe receive more that you could ever give, but I know that without of you I would not be able to be in this world and teach people how to get free of guilt, their ego blaming them, and fear, and to be their self with no guilt and fear, and bring their unconscious to consciousness, unite their darkness with light. And thank you. May you reach enlightenment. And everyone who loves, reach enlightenment. But who gives donation, I just appreciate you so much, and I cannot be more grateful, and that's why I express such gratitude. And I do white light source healing on everyone who ever offers me a donation. Messenger and all these things, it doesn't feel right to me. But I want to give you something as a gift for your gift. I cannot heal you. Your changes on yourself, if you free yourself of guilt and fear in your mind, and you dare to be yourself as it feels right from the heart, you heal yourself, you save yourself. I only do white, light, quantum, profound healing on you. No appointment needed, no standing still. You don't need to know. I just give you my word that I do it, and I do profound healing. And whatever you do with my energy, you can heal yourself, or it only helps you that you don't suffer so much. If you blame yourself and you want to be always positive, and you blame yourself to be negative, and you keeping things in, you will burn in anxiety, you will suffer in mental disease, in guilt. But if you release that guilt and dare to be yourself and respond to energy as it feels right, like a cat, you will reach enlightenment. And you will become greater masters. You heal yourself. I only give you my word, and I give you my word for every single donation. I do healing. And much love and blessings to everyone. Free yourself from guilt and fear. For you are not that. That's your ego. You are how it feels right now, this moment. From the heart, not what you think. Good and bad, that's ego blaming you. Like a cat, as it feels right to you from the heart, now, this moment, not past and future, but now. I bless you from the heart. Work on yourself. Free yourself from guilt and fear. For only you can free yourself from guilt and fear, attachments, thinking, good and bad in your mind, and be the Buddha dancing in this world from the heart and have a mind. Purnamaste.